Good morning, traders. Welcome to StockCast. My name is Todd Derby. I'm co-host James Mason. Our goal every day is to bring you insights and ideas to your daily trading activities.
Todd, you got cut out, but I assume you said, "Good morning, James. How are you doing?"
I
Todd,
did.
I'm doing well, Todd. How are you?
Good.
All right. So, everybody in the comments.
Did you give up the Atlanta Braves?
But yeah, it was easy, and you know why it's easy. Hey, that was a deep secret. I told you.
I know. I don't think I've ever seen you not sport the Atlanta Braves hat. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I'm going back to the Yankees hat this coming year.
Oh, there it is, people. There's an early precursor. Take note. Get your futures bets in early.
Yeah, Yankees next year World Series. All right, Johnny, thank you for the tip. Ryan Stahl, thank you for the tip, sir.
Ryan Stahl in the house. Jonathan Walker, look at that.
So, yeah, I found the music, guys. Like Todd has actually been Todd's backgrounds. He said a couple times, like, how many times have you lost your backgrounds on here? It's just weird how it disappears, right?
Twice it's happened where all my pictures and I've had to relog in and it just disappears.
Yeah, yesterday I got on and man, the music was gone, everything was gone. Like my little template, everything was gone. So
yeah,
I was just gonna blame it on you and say, yeah, well, since Todd wasn't gonna be on the show, he took the music with him.
Take my ball and go home.
Yeah. How was it yesterday?
Yesterday was good. I only had one opportunity to shoot a big buck. It was a 10 point, but it came in from my blind side, and when I saw it, I range found it right around 100 yards, but it was moving. It was moving fairly quickly. The deer are still in rut, which means they're in mating season, and so that was the only shot I had all day. But one brother shot a 5 point and a big doe, and then my other brother, who doesn't shoot a whole lot, he dropped a really nice 7 point right at dark last night that came in on him, and I was able to watch that from across the field. So for opening day, it was a very successful.
Tell me that you were only able to shoot that deer from 100 yards away.
No, it was. We
might as well just give you a BB gun. I mean, you're basically sitting on top of him.
Yeah.
Any good sportsman would have been like 800 yards away. They would have took the windage. They would have took into consideration the axis of the earth rotating and then adjusted it accordingly to take that shot.
Well, I did all of that, and I actually had another opportunity at 177, which I was getting ready to pull the trigger, and it started moving again, but it literally was moving straight to both my brothers' blind. So there was no sense of me taking it. And then like a smart buck it went another 15, 20 yards and then turned and went straight in the woods. So nobody got a shot at it. But I'll be at it again this weekend, and I'll have another crack at it.
All right. So
it's hard to get a day off around here.
All right. Let's get into what everyone is really wanting to hear. All right. Go figure. My TD Ameritrade would log off on its own right now. Hold on a second. All right, so Dow futures are currently up 63 points. S&P 500 futures are just slightly down at 1.5 points negative at the moment. They were green just a minute ago, but it's worth to pay attention to that. When you start having like these large markets, futures, anything like that, like the Dow, trying to be bullish while the S&P 500 is trying to be bearish, things usually get pretty daggone choppy. It makes for crappy trading days. So just take note of that, guys. That is something to keep in the back of your mind while you're trading. The easier you can make trading on you, obviously, the better. So let's go ahead. Todd, what do we let's let's just actually let me throw out some topics.
Yeah, you wanted to talk about some miscellaneous news tidbits that we thought might be of interest to the members.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about ticker KZR. Also, we're just going to just briefly mention Home Depot earnings, Walmart earnings, talk about JP Morgan suing Tesla. So yeah, let's go ahead and start this up. So let's do KBR, not KBR, KZR.
Kezar Life Sciences.
All right. Ticker KZR. So they released some news outlining their phase 2 trial that they currently have going on, and they apparently had tremendous results on it. Their short interest last updated was we'll just round up to 2.3 million shares being short, roughly 7% of the float. Days to cover 8.3, but they'll probably cover all that today, or they probably covered it after hours yesterday. So outstanding shares, roughly 48.2 million shares outstanding. The one thing I do like about this is 60% of the shares are held by institutions. I really like that a lot. But, and a big but here, not like a big but like a, y'all know what I'm saying.
You cannot lie. You like big butts?
Yeah. All right. So we can see the after hours push up yesterday, and this thing it's bleeding out. What concerns me here, and with this setup, I just can't be bullish on this. This is looking like a straight up fader at the moment. Now, later on, the market opens. I mean, this thing could shoot up and do whatever it wants to do, but we have to talk about what it's doing in the moment. And this is just a grade A setup for the bears to come in and short this thing. The volume is overall just like dying off now, like going into the bell. And that is a huge concern for the bulls right here in this ticker in KZR. So I would be very reluctant to try to go long in this thing at the moment based off of this setup. The last thing you want to get into as a long is something that does release solid news, because logically it makes sense. They had tremendous results with their phase 2 trial. So you would only think, hey, buy these shares, make money. But that's not the way the market works. The market usually does the opposite of what you think it's going to do. So I would not be surprised if this thing doesn't just fade all day long and eventually just come back down here to where it was, and maybe in a few weeks actually make its run. But we'll have to see what it's going to do once the market opens. So
I'm with you. I think it's going to be a short opportunity. And while you're talking there, I just popped it for a few cents and got that little spike as we brought it up, and then just short it down for a couple $. So I think it's going to be a good short opportunity today.
Yeah. So I just kind of watch out for this one, guys. This is not a good looking setup right here, pre-market. And even if it does pop, I would look for the bears to start to short it at these after hour highs somewhere in there if it does pop up this high.
James, I think they're going to I think they're going to be looking to short it anything around VWAP actually.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's showing right here.
Right.
So if anybody's looking at my chart, my VWAP probably looks different than y'all's. This is a 5-minute chart with a 15-minute VWAP time frame. All I did was you literally just open up your settings on your VWAP and just change the time frame. I like it better. So, I mean, we can look at this 15-minute VWAP, and every time it's going up, either people are selling or they're shorting it every time. So I would be very reluctant to go long in this one. So this is ticker KZR. So let's we'll just quickly just mention Home Depot had very strong earnings. As you can see, I mean, huge surprises coming in for Home Depot. It's having a nice push up here. Premarket currently up $7.42 since the close yesterday, so roughly 2%. And the only thing that I do hate about this one is they're already at all-time highs. So I'm kind of thinking about just day trading this one. I don't know yet, but with the way this setup is, I'm kind of expecting this to show a gap up on the daily chart and then push back down red. So we'll just have to see what it's going to do. Yesterday, I made a call out on Tesla. And well, not a call out, but that's Tilray, not Tesla. All right. So yesterday I was talking about Tesla in general. And based off of that setup, let's go to the daily chart. So based off of this daily chart setup, I was talking about how when the stock has a drastic drop like this, it usually finds some support, and we could see that support right in there. Well, I said yesterday that it was holding up support around that $1,015 range, and if I was gonna day trade this one, which I didn't day trade it because I couldn't find a solid entry to day trade it. I was actually expecting it to hold up at the bell and print a strong green day, but it didn't happen. I mean, it was just all over the place, and it literally went down just a little bit beyond what I said I would have for a possible stop if I was in it, and then it bounced right there. So it came back up, and I mean, currently, I mean, it's still struggling, and the reason why it is struggling is because Elon Musk talking crap to Bernie Sanders on Twitter, talking about selling more of his stock, which I think it's probably safe to say now that Elon, I mean, he's been known as the ultimate diamond hands in all of this. He's held on to his shares for forever. And that's also one of the reasons why a lot of bulls love him. But it's okay that he sells. I mean, why not? I mean,
he's allowed to make profit.
Exactly. Like no one can condemn him for wanting to sell his shares and make profit while everyone else is making profit and has been for years off of his work. But I do kind of feel like Elon Musk is a little, I don't want to say scared, but a little hesitant with just wanting to come out and say, hey guys, I'm going to sell a ton of shares and make a ton of money, and you guys going to get over it. And so I think he's like putting out these little passive little hints, like with like the Twitter poll, asking people's opinions on if he should sell, his stock or not. And surprisingly, everybody voted yes, which really they probably just bought Twitter accounts and voted on his own poll to win it. So, I mean,
he did say at some point that he was going to sell 19 million shares.
Okay.
And according to filing reports I see, and I have not verified this information, I've been reading, someone said he sold 10 million out of the 19 million. So he's a little over halfway done.
So what's kind of odd about it is he, with as many shares as he's just needing to sell, he doesn't have like an investment banker doing it for him. Someone is personally selling off all these shares. And I actually saw a report that Goldman Sachs was saying that they're kind of worried that every time Tesla pops up in price, he's selling shares and is just going to keep it held down to where it eventually just breaks down. Goldman Sachs, I have news for you. When someone is selling that many shares, and especially when it's Elon Musk, the price is going to go down anyways. But yeah, whatever. So with Elon's Twitter spat with Senator Bernie Sanders, I mean, I just kind of saw a couple of tweets that he had made. Honestly, I think it's funny, but it's making some people uneasy. I do think that Elon is going to keep selling more shares, and he has that right. He deserves to. I mean, he created, something great here. But when just looking at the daily chart, I do still see a support here, and things have changed since yesterday. When I was first talking about this, and Todd, keep up with my time for me, okay? So yesterday when I was talking about this, we didn't have all of this extra stuff with Elon talking trash to Bernie Sanders. And then now we also have that JP Morgan is suing Tesla for $162 million related to the warrants that they had. Honestly, I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but nonetheless, it does give it some bearish weight. It just makes it a little bit harder for the bulls to say, you know what, I'm going to buy Tesla shares at this price, regardless of what JP Morgan is saying here and that they have a $162 million lawsuit. But Tesla will probably struggle today, but I do expect to see it get back above the $1,015 support and kind of bounce in there and take a little push up. Now, I do not believe that this is going to end up as a reversal at all. I believe we'll see this bounce come up to wherever it's going to come up to, and then that secondary drop is going to be the downward trend in Tesla for however long it takes. And that's just the normal state of how stocks flow. It is what it is. Has nothing to do with me thinking Tesla's good or bad, which I think Tesla is great. So that's just what I see overall for Tesla. And let's see.
Walmart. You're about 8 minutes away from the market.
All right. Thank you. Let's take a quick look at Walmart. So Walmart had earnings today, and Walmart had phenomenal earnings.
It was in my newsletter this morning.
Yeah. Walmart had phenomenal earnings and got hammered. I mean, we see this spike up here, pre-market to $150.99, and we're back down. I mean, hell, we're lower than what we were yesterday. So we're currently at $145.95. So Walmart is throwing up mixed signals right now. Honestly, Walmart is looking like a short on a daily chart, even though they just had solid earnings. But what I would be afraid of is at the bell, Walmart comes down here into this lower 140 range. I mean, hell, I don't know. I'm just speculating. But they come down here, bottom out, and then bounces hard. That's what I would be concerned for. I mean, if we look at this daily chart, it potentially could come down here to this lower Bollinger Band line, bounce off of that, and then come back up. It's so hard to say what it's going to do because of the circumstances. I mean, when you report strong earnings like that and you have a nice bullish push up and then you erase all of it and then some, that always just skews up the entire plan. So let's take a quick run through the comments, see what we got going on.
Two tickers I've been watching, keep my eyes on, and you don't have to spend a lot of time on them, is Rivian, RIVN. That IPO'd at $78 week and a half ago, and it's hit 166 plus today. I'm not in it. I'm not trading it, but it's interesting. It's a ticker to watch, I think.
They're going to get shorted, and it's going to come crashing back down. I mean, we're talking about a company that doesn't even have a product out, but they got these insane valuations. It doesn't even make any sense.
So you say it's going to get shorted, but how does someone like you and I, who are small potatoes, can risk our our bankroll because the EV market's so strong right now? I mean, this isn't a play for us.
Yeah, this is a whole other league right here. The firms are going to be the ones who come in and short this thing down and just try to crush it, and they probably will, and it actually should. I mean, this should not have a PPS value of 161 right now. It shouldn't. This is all just FOMO, hype, whatever you want to call it, pushing this stock up. But when it comes to like shorting, almost all the time, I feel like a lot of these bearish firms short stuff that should not be shorted. You know, like why would you short, for instance, like a bio stock trying to cure cancer? I mean, that's pretty screwed up. I mean, if you're going to take like pennies off it, 10, 20, 30, 50 cents, whatever. But I'm talking about the firms that come in and absolutely try to crush it. And I swear their intention is to drive that thing down to zero. That's the way they act. But something like this, it makes complete sense for them to come in and short it down, and rightfully so, because there's no product. I mean, there's no product, and there's really nothing else to say about it. So I do think
4 minutes away, 4 minutes to the market.
Pull back pretty hard. So we'll just have to wait for a good pullback, see what it does, and get some more data on this chart. So that is all I have for today. So other than that, Todd, do you have anything?
No, we're good. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
All right, everybody. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Remember, trade safe, trade smart, and put that stop loss in place.
Take care.
So we will catch y'all later.